Rosum, number 2 on the SCG Tour leaderboard here in season number 1. Getting ready here for his match against Carl Johnson. Thank you all for all the wonderful questions. And if you have more, send them, because we'll probably have some time to kill after this round. Uh-oh. Only one foil Spellweaver Volute available on SCG.
That's the next buyout. I'll tell you this. Spellweaver Volute may not be on the reserve list, but I'd be surprised if it got reprinted. That might be a cagey buy.
Yeah, that's true. Could have a real spike on that for you.
I just can't wait for the Spellweaver Volute buyout, and people be like, I cannot believe it. I was literally about to buy my 4 Spellweaver Volutes, and now they're $10, and I'm so mad.
I'm so mad. It needs to be in a master set.
They were in the cart. I was about to check out. I got distracted doing something else.
We are underway here. It is an Urza's power plant there for Carl Johnson, and now an Urza's mine for Rosum. He's got a colonnade, and he's in some trouble. Because we could have Tron online as soon as turn number 3. Rosum will play a Flooded Strand. Magic is really hard when you mold a 5, Carl.
Yeah.
It is really tough. There's nothing to play?
Classic E-Tron.
Wow.
I like turn 3 Tron Go. It's my second favorite play in the deck of time. Turn 3 Tron 2 Matter Reshapers.
Your turn.
You know what Spellweaver? They seem very different. They are different designs. You know what the difference between what Underground Sea and Spellweaver Volute have in common, though? You never really wanted to own either.
Here's a Ghost Quarter. There's Thought-Knot Seer for Carl Johnson.
May have wanted to play around Mana Leak last turn. Although I guess if it was Thought-Knot Seer, he had the 7.
Yeah,
so
he was okay.
Could have just peeled it off the top. We'll see.
I guess you know what? No rush.
Right.
Playing against Jeskai Control, right? There's no real rush here. All right, here's the grip for Rosum. It's a thick one. He's got a lot of cards, obviously. I see a Lightning Helix, a Logic Knot, a Cryptic Command, another Lightning Helix. Let's make it 2 of those. A Path to Exile, Glacial Fortress, and a beautiful Highland. Delve came from Future Sight.
Yep.
Tombstalker, Logic Knot.
Yep.
Death Rattle.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you in the know.
The precursor to Murderous Cut.
That's correct. I'm going to find some more doozies here on the Future Sight set.
Oh, my God. It's a lot to go through.
I forgot Nyx was in that set. That's
nice. Yeah, Nyx.
That's a nice card.
Does it counter the card with no mana cost?
I believe,
or that you didn't pay mana for?
Yeah.
Oh, Force of Savagery. Look at that one.
That's an 8-0.
Yeah. That's dead.
Let's not act like it's in combination with that graft land, make it a 9-1.
Yeah. Although that requires like a pretty
boom.
I'm surprised they didn't do it 8-1 to complete the. It's like the mirror to the Char Rumbler.
The cycle, as it were.
That is a wow. Is that a lot?
Thought-Knot Seer looks like it's ready to come into the red zone. Rosum's going to fall down to 14. He lost his Path to Exile from the Thought-Knot Seer trigger. There's a waste. Does Carl Johnson have another big spell to play? Remember, he's on a mulligan of 5. 6 mana. Endbringer. I think we, let's see, blue. Is there a Cryptic? I believe there is. So here comes Cryptic Command. Counter and I think draw. That'll work.
This is one of the vulnerabilities of the Eldrazi Tron strategies. They do just play a lot of pretty chunky stuff on their main phase. They are vulnerable to Cryptic Command, and they don't have a lot of ways to play around it. So they're running head into it quite a bit. The upshot is, as mentioned before, they got a bunch of bolts that aren't very good. But Cryptic it's trouble.
We're also playing Island past the tournament. That's land number 5 as we head over to Carl Johnson. He took a brief look at Celestial Colonnade. Just wanted to make sure he knew what that did before rumbling over here, maybe, with Thought-Knot Seer. Here comes. Ross will take 4, fall down to 10. Ross is a player who's had a lot of success with both humans and Jeskai Control. He's taken various builds of Jeskai actually to some solid finishes here on the SCG Tour. We saw him play a lot of Geist of St. Traft in his Jeskai builds, more of a Jeskai mid-range or aggro control deck. But now he's playing a very dedicated control strategy, much like Benjamin Nikolic before him, as here's another copy of Thought-Knot Seer.
And Rosum might be on the short list of modern players who are actually metagaming from week to week and playing different decks.
Yes.
A lot of people that show up, even people who are good, still kind of just default to the one thing. And Rosum's shown a lot of fluidity, had a ton of success with humans, and put that down as the deck became more popular. And now it's here with Jeskai Control.
Let's go back over to Rosum now. You see 2 Lightning Bolts in hand, Lightning Helix as well. He'll play another copy of Celestial Colonnade. And we're going back over to Carl Johnson. Carl Johnson going to come in for 4 yet again. There's a Lightning Helix from John.
And I like Rosum here taking some hits. He can get to a spot here where he can use 2 removal spells to get the Thought Knot Seer off the battlefield and still leave up his mana for Logic Knot.
And also, if the Thought Knot Seer does get killed here, he gets to draw a card, which is always nice. Recoup a little bit of the card disadvantage for having to kill that thing. And as you mentioned, being able to leave up Logic Knot in a spot like this, Logic Knot would be for a whole bunch, actually.
Yeah, Rosum knows he's not going to get burned out at this game, so he can afford to take some hits here and time his Cryptic Command as well and take care of the Thought Knot Seer when he can still protect himself.
That'll be an Expedition map. This will be 7 mana for an All Is Dust. Trigger Sanctum, okay. Whew. I was confused.
That is just letting him know you mean business.
Let's see what we're going to search for with the Sanctum. Boy, I was confused for a moment. Whenever you cast a colorless spell with converted mana cost 7 or greater, you may sacrifice Sanctum Vugam. If you do, search your library for a colorless creature card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Reality Smasher is the weapon of choice. Because Carl Johnson does not have a main deck copy of Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. For if he did, I think he would have searched for that. Let's go back over to John now, who will just play a Hallowed Fountain and pass the turn back over to Carl. Carl's got that Reality Smasher in hand, Expedition map on the battlefield. He's had Tron since turn number 3. Hasn't had the opportunity to do a ton with it, as he will sacrifice that Expedition map to search up a land. He'll go with the Cavernous Souls. Let's make that Reality Smasher uncounterable.
Yeah, not surprising that that's the landing when he got plenty of mana to work with, but he's got to slog through a bunch of counter spells.
Rosum right now does have some more removal in his hand. Looks like another Lightning Helix and a Bolt over there. Cryptic Command 2, if memory serves. Well, that Cryptic Command appears as though it will be getting much worse. There's the Cavernous Souls, likely going to be naming Eldrazi. And now there's your Reality Smasher. Can't Logic Knot this one.
And this is a cumbersome card to bolt twice.
Not your favorite. That's for sure.
I mean, you can snap Cryptic just to tap and draw and try to race, with the bolts that you have and the colonnade and so forth. But you can't counter it, obviously, because of the cavern, and it seems unrealistic to. I mean, it's 4 cards out of your hand if you use a bolt.
2 bolts, yeah. No, thank you. Here comes Reality Smasher. Rosum's got a little bit of life to work with, though. So he'll fall down to 8. See what John's plan is here. He's got a Snapcaster Mage. He will cast that. What's he going to get flashback? Looks like it's going to be Lightning Helix. So maybe the race is on.
Yeah, if he's not even bothering with Cryptic Command, then he is definitely racing. I thought he was just going to tap and draw a card, but it looks like he's going a different direction here.
Yeah, the race is certainly on. This deck can morph into a burn deck at times. That's what Rosum's trying to do. Looks like it's going to be 14 all as John will be untapping. He does have a Colonnade among those lands. Actually, two of them, if memory serves, so he could fire those up. And now John is prepared to draw, and he will. Looks like there's a Serum Visions in there. And now, Colonnade. Yep, he's going to come in this way. Colonnade hits hard. Looks like it'll be an attack for 6, perhaps a Dismember here. So it'll still be 6 no matter what. Rosum says, actually, I'm going to Logic Knot that.
Yeah, I was not a fan there of Johnson playing the Dismember because he knew about the Logic Knot, which is largely shut out because of the Cavern of Souls, and taking 4 there when Rosum, at the end of last turn, declared, we're racing right now. That's what I'm turning this game into. Letting Rosum use all of his mana, and you take 4 for your trouble, unless he's got some big spell to play right here that he would not have been able to resolve through the Cavern, I would have just preferred to keep the Dismember in hand.
Well, there's a Mattery Shaper as we head back over to Rosum. Reality Smasher got in. We might see a Serum Visions here in just a moment. As you see the life totals here, it appear to be 8 to 9. Serum Visions here for John. He'll draw. Oh, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Modern All-Star. Everybody's favorite. Oh, this is unbelievable. Actually, you know what? First of all, as Rosum is going to play Teferi, I've just been informed that someone bought the foil Spellweaver's Volute from underneath me.
When there is only one on the website and someone bought it, you know what that is?
What's that?
A buyout.
That's a buyout. That is a buyout.
That's a buyout.
Teferi going to tuck away Reality Shaper here, or Reality Smasher, excuse me. But more importantly, I was a little disappointed. But you know what that means? We just sold a foil Spellweaver's Volute, bro.
Yeah.
Might be needing to send an email to the old boss for a raise.
Yeah.
Because that thing wasn't ever going to move.
Hey, yo, Pete.
That was never going to move without that conversation. You're welcome. Back to John Rosum, we're going to go. He's got an active Teferi. He's going to plus and draw a card. Teferi's starting to take over.
That card is all kinds of not okay.
Jace the Mind Sculptor you would think would be in that spot, but no. It is actually Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. And so many have written about this card over the past couple of weeks. Its dominance in Standard in blue-white first control with Torrential Gearhulk, now creatureless control, and it being the win condition in the deck all by itself for Brad Nelson at Grand Prix Toronto, second place. Now you've got Rosum here within his deck. We had it in the finals last week. This card's everywhere, man.
How was it against Reality Smasher versus Jace? How Jace would have been?
Did a little better than Jace.
Did a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a scotch. And now it's starting to take over the game is Teferi. Poor Jace. We were all wrong. Thought it was a huge risk. Maybe it still is.
Oh, it can be a huge risk and still be okay some of the time.
Dare I say Jace is a sideboard card in this format?
Maybe. I mean, that's a... If you want it for the blue matchups, tapping out on your own turn's really rough, and in Modern you usually need tools that are a little bit more specific than a random control card for games that go long. But yeah, I think that it should be probably more sideboards with one Jace. Probably. That's probably right.
Cryptic Command. I believe it's going to use it to tap and draw. Yes. That's what Rosum will do. Electrolyze you. And if our life totals are correct, Carl Johnson will fall down to 3. He will extend the hand on this particular game as Jonathan Rosum wins game number 1 here over Carl Johnson. Jeskai Control up a game over Eldrazi. We had a little Burn. We had a little Snapcaster Mage. We had a little Cryptic Command. We had a whole bunch of Teferi there. We'll examine both these players' sideboards and talk more about this Jeskai Control deck and Jonathan Rosum in just a bit. We are back. Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan here at SCG Minneapolis, at SCG Tour, hashtag SCGMINN. And you can join the conversation and talk about this match here in round number 5 between Jonathan Rosum and Carl Johnson. Jeskai Control, Eldrazi. Johnson will be on the play here for game number 2. He's got 2 Relic Progenitors, 2 Torpor Orb, 2 Warping Whale, along with a whole bunch of one-ups here, and all Dust Dismember, Grafdigger's Cage, Karn Liberated, Pithing Needle Ratchet Bomb, Sky Sovereign, and Council Flagship, Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and a Wormcoil Engine.
So the relics.
Good choice.
And maybe you just want some more threat cards for some of the removal. I mean, the Wormcoil Ugin, not great here, but maybe better than some of the Dismembers.
Give me that Karn.
You want the Karn?
Yeah, sure. Just give me some big stuff.
Big stuff.
Yeah.
And the relics.
For Rosum, he's got 2 Celestial Purge, 2 Dispel, 2 Runed Halo, 2 Vendilion Click, Ceremonious Rejection, Disdainful Stroke, Engineer Explosive, Elspeth Sun's Champion, Negate, Timing Reinforcements, and Aware, Tear.
So 3 of these singletons are very good in the Elspeth Sun's Champion, Disdainful Stroke, and the Ceremonious Rejection. And I like Runed Halo in this matchup too. Johnson's deck just a lot of big chunky threats, and he's not very good about getting enchantments off the battlefield.
We're underway here in game number 2. It's Nurse's Power Plant to start here for Johnson yet again. This time he got to keep 7, it appears. So we'll see if he can do better this go around as Rosum will start things off with a Celestial Colonnade. Remember, difficult matchup here for Jeskai Control, though Rosum is very skilled with the deck. That is a Chalice for 1 for Carl Johnson. For Jonathan Rosum, he'll play an island, and that'll be a search for his Kanta. We will go back over to Carl, who is 2/3 of the way to the Tron. Wow, this is not hard at all. Thought-Knot Seer, trigger. Johnson will take a look at Rosum's hand. Sulphur Falls, Logic Knot, Runed Halo, 2 copies.
Oh, my goodness.
2 copies of Serum Visions and a Path to Exile, which means he's got a pretty bad hand, folks.
Yeah, so he can cast a Logic Knot and with no graveyard, and the rest of his hand shut out. And he can't cast the Runed Halo even if it somehow gets the next turn. So pretty bad news here for
Not
great.
Not great. Not great. Just saying. It is not great. Boy, oh boy, is that not great. I tell you what. Runed Halo down. I think that was the easy choice.
Yep.
Follow up? Oh, it's your friend.
All right, so when it's a Thought-Knot and a Matter Reshaper, that's a real draw.
That is a real draw.
2 Matter Reshapers that's a lot of work to cast a Matter Reshaper. Thought-Knot, Matter Reshaper, that's impressive.
Rosum is going to put an island in the graveyard.
Yes. Oh,
You got to try. You got to try. That's right.
it's also for the Logic Knot. It's not for
true.
nothing.
That's true.
But Johnson was ready.
Yep. Here's an attack for 7. The follow-up is another Urza's Power Plant. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Karn Liberated. We done. Carl Johnson going to tie things up here against Jonathan Rosum. We done. Eldrazi Tron, Jeskai Control. They're going to get ready here for game number 3. What a beatdown. What a beatdown.
Great.
See, there's the Karn.
There you go.
Pretty good.
No,
Karn
I don't know if Johnson needed the Karn necessarily, but the Chalice there locked out Rossum's hand, and Johnson had some threat cards to play, and there you go. Easy does it. How you draw it up.
We got a new product coming out, Patrick.
Hit me with it.
Global Series. I think that's the name. We got to slide stuff with these cool cards.
What is this?
Have you not seen these?
I have not.
It's really cool. It's a thing. I believe. I don't want to get this wrong. I believe it's a product coming out in China.
Okay.
And it's coming out. Okay, it's coming out worldwide. And these are made for China, but these 2 Planeswalkers are only standard legal in China.
Gotcha.
Is the deal here. You can pre-order today. Ships June 22nd on Star City Games. And we can take a look at these cards individually. We can look at them just like this. They're actually pretty cool cards. So here's the people are concerned about, oh, these are only standard legal in one set of the world.
Are they legal for Magic Online?
That I have no idea.
Okay, let's assume no. I would guess that
I'm leaning towards no.
If your IP address is in China, then you can play with them, and if not, then you can't or whatever.
That would be strange.
That would be strange. Okay.
So this one's a 6 mana, 5 loyalty, +2. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. -3, draw 2 cards. -10, tap all creatures your opponents control. You take an extra turn after this one.
So this is sort of kind of a derivative of the dual deck stuff, where there's some planeswalkers. They shoot very low. I mean, this is much worse than your average 6 mana planeswalker, but they reference the card so you can tutor it inside the decks, and
you see stuff like that.
And newer players get exposed to planeswalkers as a card type.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So here's
Great.
the blue one. Here's the green one. 5 mana, 4 loyalty. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you don't control a creature named Mawu, create a legendary 3/3 green hound creature token named Mawu, and then -5 loyalty until end of turn. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+X, where X is the number of lands you control. I think these are completely innocent, fun cards. Some players have some gripes about the fact that these will be legal in China and not anywhere else.
I mean, it is a weird thing. I understand this runs counter to a lot of sensibilities surrounding card games and Magic in general, but on a practical level, it seems relatively harmless. This could open the door if you keep doing stuff like this and you keep making it more powerful and keep it coming up with different rules for different cards, then you can get yourself into trouble. But it's kind of a one-off thing. Those planeswalkers seem so innocent on rate that it's unlikely to be a weird thing.
Could be a slippery slope, though.
Well,
what if they print one that's too good?
Right. The burden's on them to not do that.
I agree.
That's different than are you doing it at all?
I think those cards are cool, and I actually just want to own them because I like the artwork on both of them.
They look cool.
I think they're just cool cards.
I usually try to take a perspective of what are the circumstances required for the card to be good rather than is the card good or bad, because I think that's a more instructive and helpful framework. Those cards seem very weak. It would surprise me if we had a standard Grand Prix in China that was flush with those cards, and then we couldn't do anything with the deck list because they're only legal in China. That would surprise me.
I would be surprised as well. Game number 3.
You see what you get to do with Karn? It's 4 mana instead of 6, and colorless instead of blue, and the loyalty goes up as you draw cards, not down.
There's a little bit of a difference there. Maybe. Small difference.
That's just picking one card.
At random.
Yeah.
At random.
So, looks like Johnson going down to 5 here.
Well, as Carl Johnson doing some mulliganing here, we'll learn a little bit more about Jonathan Rosum, which, of course, his name rhymes with awesome, which will probably not be on his player slide, even though I say it every time, again, because I just want to make sure I always get his name right. I'm a big John fan. I'm a John guy, 19-year-old from Spencer, Massachusetts, with 6 open top 8s, and that team open win earlier this year with Julian John and Kevin King at SCG Dallas. He sings and acts, has been the male lead in a number of musicals, including All Shook Up and Footloose. Former Hearthstone grinder and captain of the Bryant University TESPA team, and was the co-drum major of the David Powdy High School marching band and captain of the show choir. He does a little song and dance, and he's pretty good at casting red, blue, and white spells.
What were your high school extracurriculars?
I wrestled.
Wrestling? Okay.
Would I do anything else? I wrestled. Does Warcraft 3 count?
No, I mean within the framework as a high school student.
I did that while I was a high school student.
No, things associated with your school, like wrestling counts.
I went to school and did that.
Okay. It's not okay.
I did it a lot.
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't good at it either.
Wrestling?
Warcraft.
Oh, Warcraft. I was about to say, I thought you were reasonably accomplished.
Fine wrestler. It's fun. Yeah. I don't think I did anything else. Got in trouble a lot.
Sure.
Got in trouble a lot my senior year. I was good the first 3 years.
Me too.
Thought not seer? Mattery Shaper. All right. Through the cavern, so it's uncounterable. Vendilion Click. Let's scope things out here. I see a Walking Ballista, an Endbringer, an Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and a Urza's Tower of Power.
So you can there's one path that says just take the Walking Ballista because it's castable and problematic with the click. There's the other side of this that says it's just really dangerous to let him draw a card in a Tron. Just let him keep those hands and work your way through the Ballista. Especially if you put Cavern on Eldrazi and you have a counter spell for the Ballista, the rest of Johnson's hand doesn't amount to much, assuming he doesn't assemble Tron, so don't give him a look at a card.
I remembered something else I did in high school. I worked for the principal's secretary,
Okay.
and I would be the person that would take detention slips to people to let them know they would have detention. Does
Oh.
that count as a thing?
Yeah, you were a narc.
No. I was just helping.
Yeah, that's what people. Never mind. That's
I was just helping out, and it also just let me not have to take a class.
wow. That is bad. That is really bad. That's worse than the coffee cup thing.
Hi, I had to go to someone's classroom. Just so you know, you have detention later today.
Wow.
All right, I gotta go back to the desk.
Did you leave an apple on the teacher's desk when you went over there and served your detention notices?
I did not have a catchphrase, unfortunately. I should have had a catchphrase for that.
I can't. I wish you had not said that. That's really bad.
Someone's got to do it.
That's not true. It's not true.
Someone has to do the dirty work.
Okay, and make someone else do it.
Someone's got to do the dirty work, man. I got to not have to take a class to do that. That was senior year. That was fun. Just giving out detention to freshmen. Oh yeah.
Looked like Rosum there decided to draw a card with a cryptic command. Looked like he was contemplating maybe bouncing one of the Tron pieces to keep Johnson off. But
That's a real concern. Tron shows up here. That means Ugin shows up. And unless Rosum has another counterspell, he could be in some real trouble. Here's another attack from the Mattery Shaper. Rosum going to fall down to 12, it appears. And now Rosum will sacrifice Scalding Tarn very quickly. Weren't you in, like, debate?
I
Didn't you do that?
I was Model Congress, Model UN, mock trial.
Ooh.
I was president of the Junior Statesmen of America. I was actually impeached as president of the club. Survived the impeachment trial. Survived the impeachment trial, and then just spent the rest of my senior year getting vengeance on the people who were responsible for it.
And I'm the bad guy for handing out detention slips.
Yep.
You've been impeached.
Well, impeach is just you're on trial. It's not a conviction. And that gave me a really fascinating insight into politics. I then was just, well, now that my power has been reestablished, I'm going to get these people. And that lesson has carried over to today.
Now that I know this, I don't even care what you think about the coffee or the detention slips.
It is.
I don't care about either.
It's way worse that you serve detention slips.
Just handing them out.
Yeah.
Proudly. Skipping through the hallways as here's a ruined Halo.
All right. Rosum just needs to fade Tron for one more turn. He should be okay.
Thought Not Seer was the name. He's actually got Disdainful Stroke in hand.
And then he's got cover against Ugin, so it
Yeah.
would have to be some gigantic, I don't know what it would even have to be, Endbringer to catch back up. Seems unrealistic.
There's another Cavern. This is 5 mana. Smasher, maybe? Looks like it might be a defensive Smasher. Oh, boy, it's an aggressive Smasher.
Love it. Go out swinging.
Play one way.
Well, I mean, on the table here, Johnson's not dead. He can block one of the tokens and fall to 1.
It's true.
And he's not going to win hanging back because Rosum still kills him over 2 attacks the same way. So it looks a little sketchy here, but I love that Johnson made the attack there. It's his only way to win.
Rosum will draw. It's a big draw step here for John. There are some game winners. I don't think he found one of them, though. Yeah, how's he want to attack here?
Well, he can get in with 2 tokens. That gets Johnson down to 3, and then your click's good the next turn.
Okay.
So he can hang back and chump block a little bit here. If he made this attack, I assume he has really nothing of note to add. It's a very conservative attack.
Yeah, I think he just has counter magic. He'll play a Flooded Strand past the turn back. Looks like he has another copy of Vendilion Click in hand.
Yeah, you might click him in the draw step here.
Yep. With Disdainful Stroke, Logic Knot at the ready. It's a power plant, which actually is the Tron piece. So it looks like Johnson peeled it, but Rossum's got some pretty good cover here. Knuckleheads. I think he just blocked there, blocked there. Yeah, he takes 1 trample damage, so he'll fall down to 2. That's what it looks like to me. Which means he'll still be able to fetch for his Logic Knot. There's a power plant. But I think Johnson can only play one relevant spell this turn. That's going to be Ugin. That'll be a Disdainful Stroke. And I think old V-Click should be able to come up for the win, and it will. Jonathan Rosum going to win this match over Carl Johnson, 2-1. Jeskai Control going to squeak by Eldrazi Tron. Generally not a good matchup for Rosum. We've seen him